Good afternoon, Mr. Motosha. Welcome. All right, so today is 22nd of July 2025. We're having our pre-New York session analysis, and we have just one or two events on the market. Now, today the market has been generally very quiet, very, very quiet. Good afternoon, Madam Monaji, because we've not really had uh, high impact events that are tradable. There was a speech by 10:15 a.m. this morning from the Bank of England Governor Bailey. You know, that was a speech. And the next event, also by 1:30 p.m., is going to be a speech by Fed Chair Powell. Now, these are speeches. Most of the time, they may not be tradable. But the other tradable event today will come by 3 o'clock, and that's the Richmond Manufacturing Index. It's a medium impact event, so much volatility is not really expected on this event. Now, anytime we don't have tradable events like that, usually the market will start to range. And that's what has been experienced from the beginning of today. The market has been on a very, very quiet side. The market is ranging. We don't have clear cut direction. As such, if you have a running trade, I will advise you to make sure that there's a stop loss in place just in case things don't go as planned. And for this afternoon session, we really don't have any setup, that is about to mature to share with us. Though we have some that are upcoming, which I will show us and we can take note of. But I really don't have directly tradable setup at the moment as we speak. But then we'll show you what the market is saying. You see, you don't force trades. When the market is still trying to develop into a trade, that's where patience comes in. Otherwise, if you want to jump into the market all the time, you may just get yourself burnt in the process. So I'll show you what is available in the market this afternoon. And from my weekly outlook yesterday, Monday, I said I held a bearish outlook on the dollar for this week, and that outlook still remains the same. Now, the dollar index has moved to an extent in line with that analysis, even though with the volatility has been very low, there's been some slight movement on the dollar index in line with the overall view on the dollar. So this is the dollar index. I remember telling us yesterday that I saw we have a perfect scenario of a high probability setup, price trending downwards on the daily time frame. We have a downward movement of price on the daily time frame, and we also have a support on resistance level here. I said technically, I'm looking at the further bearish movement in price on the dollar index, and that takes us to the 4-hour time frame. And we can see between yesterday and today, as yesterday price was just somewhere around here, we've seen some downward movement already on the dollar index. Today's still Tuesday, after the quietness today goes, volatility may return to the market, and we're seeing a retracement at the moment. There may be further continuation. So that's still very possible. And in view of that, we've seen some slight bullish movement on the USD CHF in line with the analysis. Price has broken out, way up above yesterday, currently retracing, and I'm still expecting a continuation on this one too. But then I'll look at the USD CHF. Now, the USD CHF also, I told us yesterday I was bearish, and you can see price has broken out. We have a clear-cut breakout of price. Now, after all the events today, by 3 o'clock, if some slight volatility returns to the market, we may see some movement. It may not be much, but then the overall bias on the USD is still bearish. So if price breaks out below this current low, it may sell a little later. I may further rather. Don't forget this is a swing setup, so appreciable movement is to span the course of the week. It may move. As of yesterday, where the analysis price was just somewhere around here like this, we've seen some slight movement downwards. It may proceed later on, but just on a quiet and slow note. But notwithstanding, we still maintain our bearish outlook on the dollar. And in the same line also, New Zealand USD. For New Zealand USD, I remember telling us yesterday that price hit a support level on the daily time frame, and we can see there's a falling wedge from where we're anticipating a bullish movement. Now, if the dollar is bearish, then pairs like New Zealand USD, Euro USD, they are expected to go bullish. Now, price hit this resistance, minor resistance yesterday, and it's retracing. If price goes back again to hit that level, if price goes back to hit this level and breaks above it, then the bull will have returned to this instrument and we'll see further bullish movement. So we're still bullish on the New Zealand USD. We only need price to break out above the current resistance level before we can trigger an entry. Don't forget, it's a swing setup, so it may take some days before all this really works out. And at the point of entry, you need a confirmation with your RSI to be clearly above 50 for that particular setup. Now, there's a setup that's really forming that I'm putting a lot of attention on at this point, and that's the Euro JPY. The Euro JPY. I'm trying to get it. Just a second. Okay. All right, so this is the Euro JPY. Let's start the analysis on the higher time frame. Okay, this spans from the monthly time frame. Now, the monthly time frame, we can see the price is trading around a resistance level on the monthly time frame. All right. If you take it down to the 4-hour time frame, we can see here the clear formation of a shoulder, a head, a second shoulder, and we are anticipating a breakout, in the bearish direction. Also coupled with that, we have a rising wedge pattern. All right, so we can see there's a resistance on the monthly time frame, a rising wedge on 4-hour, and a head and shoulder, which is forming very fast on this one. And we have the neckline region as this area. So we pay attention to this particular one. If price breaks out below this neckline region, it will be a time to trigger a sell on the Euro JPY. And RSI is already below 50. MACD is about to cross below zeros. So this is actually getting a lot very fast into the bearish zone that we are anticipating some activity. So we're bearish on the Euro JPY. This is a 4-hour setup, but then if price is able to make a clean break below this current neckline region, which is the support, we will see a massive movement. When I say massive, like I said, it's swing. It can take quite some time. It can take some days before price possibly gets to profit target. But on the average, we can see up to about 144 piece of Fibonacci, 38 points. Sorry, Fibonacci 23.6 can give over 100 pips. To Fibonacci 38.2 can give as much as about 300 pips. Fibonacci 50 can give as much as about 450 pips on the average, and Fibonacci 1.8 can give about 600 pips. These are massive, and I tell you this can span beyond. I can tell you that this can span beyond a week. But if you have the patience to hold on to this can give you some very, very decent profits. The condition, however, is that wait for a new candle to open below the support zone. Don't trigger a sell now. I've seen people say that. They say, "Ah, but eventually it will sell now. So let me enter now." I didn't say to enter now. Wait for a new candle to open below that support zone. We need to wait for the conditions to be rightly met before we trigger a sell. But I'm bearish technically on the Euro JPY. All right, that's going to be all from my end. Yesterday, I gave my view on BTC. Somebody asked about BTC USD, and I said BTC was ranging and it's still within that range. Remember, I drew this rectangle box yesterday. I said if price breaks out above it, that means we're buying, and if it breaks out below, it means we're selling. But price has still been within that range since yesterday, so we'll still keep watching till there is a breakout. And I'll give you an update on gold. We analyzed gold yesterday, and I said it categorically that I was expecting gold to buy if price is able to break out above this current resistance. I've traded this since yesterday, and truly price did break out above that resistance level, just in line with my analysis, and price went as high as about 250 pips on gold yesterday before we started seeing some retracement. Currently, I don't have any analysis yet, but since we are bearish on the dollar, if price goes up again and breaks above this current high, which is equally a resistance, then we may see gold, surge higher. But for now, it looks like it's in the range until we can see a new breakout above this current level. So I still maintain a bullish outlook, but a new high above the current level will trigger that. All right, that's going to be all from my end on the analysis this afternoon. If you have any question, you can just ask. For those who are just joining us, the market is very, very quiet. It's ranging, so we really don't have any direct signal at the moment, except the setup which I gave us, which I'm putting a lot of hopes on because of the probability, and that's the Euro JPY. Others are just updates on what is happening in the market. Now, don't forget to always check the 5X group if you're there. If you're not yet on the 5X group, you're leaving a lot of money on the table. Reach out to your account manager to be on the 5X group. 5X group is our special signal group where the goal is to push your account times 5 of what you have, after the time you join that group. Till date, over 1,000 pips have been generated in that group. We started this group early June, and between early June and the first week in July, over 1,000 pips has been generated, and these are verifiable. So don't sleep, join that group and make money for yourself. All right, I can see a few people dropping some requests here now. I'll attend to that as we begin to round up. Rex Peters is asking me to check AUDJPY. All right, AUDJPY is going in line with the analysis yesterday. I remember giving this analysis. I said I expect price to break out below this support and target this area. Why do I think it will target this area? Because we have some higher lows here up to this point, which is a confluence between this support, and the higher low is forming a confluence. So I anticipated price to drop to this level. Now, it's a 4-hour setup, or maybe we can look at this one on 1 hour also this time around. So if a new candle opens, let me confirm that first. Okay, RSI is getting close to 30. I will not encourage this for 1 hour. Now we'll wait on this one till 2 o'clock when a new 4-hour candle will appear in the market. If by 2 o'clock price closes below this current candlestick as we are seeing, then that will be safe to trigger a sell on AUDJPY, and you target this particular level. That's this trend line. Sorry, let me draw the line here. All right, it's a swing trade. You can target 95.398 as a profit-taking level by 2 p.m. if the current candle closes, below that support zone, just as I've drawn it on the screen now. You can take a sell and target that level, and you are to make a profit of about 50 pips on the average on this particular setup. So thanks for asking me to check on that. It's an update on the analysis we've had since yesterday on the AUDJPY. So we're still very bearish on the AUDJPY. All right, Muktagarba, yes, you'll get the recorded version just some minutes after this class. I'll post it in your group so that you can read, you can see it and you can watch it again to get an insight into what we've done so far. All right, that'll be the end of this session. Take care and enjoy the rest of the day. Bye-bye.
Thank you very much. So have a great day.
You too. Bye.